This is Antony Rotunno, and this is interview number 6 in a series with musicians in Madrid. And today we've got James Jarman. How are you?
Not too bad, actually, yeah.
All good? Okay.
I mean, how could you complain in this lovely environment?
I was just going to say we're on location today, and I think we're just going to set the scene. I mainly set the scene just to piss everyone in Britain off, just in case it's raining and horrible in England. It's Saturday, 20th of June, and it's 8:45, but you'd never know it because it's basically, in Spain, it's basically the afternoon, isn't it?
Well, this could be any time of day. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it's
But they literally use the word tarde for afternoon until it gets dark, and my students think it's really funny that in England, in English, evening starts at 6 o'clock on the dot. Doesn't matter if it's light or dark or whatever. So anyway, actually, fuck the interview. Should we just talk about how nice it is here for half an hour?
I mean, it's inspiring, isn't it? One could write a song about this.
It's very inspiring watching this guy basically terrorising his dog as well. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about you. Now what I thought I'd do is actually, we'll talk about the Giants, your band. You're an ex-Giant, aren't you?
I am.
We'll talk about the Giants, and then we'll go back. We'll talk about origins and all the usual, all the good stuff. So, yeah, how long were the Giants actually together? It was pretty short, wasn't it?
We came up with the name about 2 months ago, you know, back in April.
Yeah.
And decided that we were just going to be the three of us. We weren't going to bother with any other musicians.
So it was Mo and Christian.
That's right, yeah. We'd had some difficulties with the bass player and other permutations.
Difficulties you couldn't play, or personality?
No, I could play fine. It just Christian and Mo and I were such good friends, and that was the main driving force behind the band.
Yeah. Right.
So to have another person in there who wasn't on the same wavelength was a problem.
Pete Best. Can't help thinking of Pete Best. You needed Ringo on bass.
Yeah. So anyway, the Giants was pretty crazy, and it all really, we only existed to kind of showcase or play live the songs that Mo and I had written over the course of a couple of years. And we had a sense of urgency as well, because he decided to leave again. He's moved to Malaysia, so the band is over. Okay.
You packed a lot in, and you made quite an impact, I must say, among sort of the crowd, our sort of open mic crowd.
Thanks. I mean, it was thrilling. It was a great response. I learned to love audiences. You know, I learned to like really appreciate how important they are in the whole thing. It's not just about the song and the musicians.
And why does Mo keep buggering off every once in a while? What's he doing in Malaysia?
Well, he left first time a year ago for work, but then hated it and decided to move back. But then he hooked up with a girl just a week before he was going to move back. Kind of bad timing. And then decided when he was back here that he couldn't be without her. So
more importantly, has he written any songs about that?
Oh yeah, there's definitely a few songs about Layla, but
she's called Layla.
She is, yeah, it's a nice name.
He didn't write that one. No, he didn't write that one, did he? No. Okay. Yeah, one thing that was interesting that you were talking about was the way that you wrote the songs, rather than face to face, because you're in different places. Just tell us about that, because it's very typical of modern life, I guess. Just tell us about how you wrote those songs.
Yeah, after Mo left Madrid for the first time, a few months later, he sent us a recording of a song called I Addict, and he just had a verse and a chorus, but it was a fucking fantastic song. Can I say fucking on this?
Yeah, I already have. So.
Yeah, it was an awesome song. So I basically kind of added a second verse and the bridge, and then played it with this band that had formed out of the ashes of our first band called Waiting Forever. And yeah, it was a great song. I think it was the best thing that I did with Waiting Forever. And then we resurrected that one as the Giants, and kind of give it a bit more energy.
But you're talking about like you were sending each other bits.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, well, the Hunger Games, for example. I heard this woman on the metro singing "Por favor, me puede ayudar para comer." So I recorded that, and then kind of turned it into a song, and then sent it over to Mo, and he loved it, and kind of added some production and really turned it into a good song. And then sent it back, and then Christian in Madrid recorded a rap on top. So yeah, it was a really nice collaboration between the three of us, and it's an interesting song. It's kind of I just kind of started thinking, why is it so easy to ignore people who are in desperate need, people who are starving?
Beggars. Yeah.
I don't have an answer, you know, obviously I don't know why it's so easy, but the question is posed to the listener of the song.
Well, I think a lot of it actually, to be honest, is I think we're probably looking for a way to avoid them.
Yeah.
And when you hear these stories, and I'm fairly sure it's true in Asia, for example, that gangsters, and some of the stories are so horrendous, like gangsters basically cutting people's arms off and plonking them in a place to beg.
Yeah.
And they'll even do other little touches just to get a few more change.
So you're afraid any money you gave to them would just go right to the gang?
I mean, not me personally, because I don't really, again, I don't have an answer either. But I think, for example, with gypsies, you know, because I talk to some of my students about this sort of thing that comes up every now and again. And again, it's my theory, but I think when you hear a story that makes it easier for you to ignore it, then you'll latch onto it. Oh, you know, gypsies, they're just all criminals or whatever. But I've actually got a student who does voluntary work in the gypsy community, and she says, you know, as usual, that's not the whole truth, and it's not black and white.
But people want to put things in boxes, and people want to make things simple and you know, agree with their political viewpoint or whatever. You know.
Well, the media does mainstream media does a perfect job of that. Just everything is very simple. But yeah, I mean, just to let people know who don't live in Madrid, they may not have seen this lady, but you know, obviously some people sing, some people come on the metro and busk, and other people come on the metro and ask for money, and she combines the two and sings, you know, this song. So it's actually her voice on the recording.
It is, yeah. I recorded it with my mobile phone, which has just spoken to us as well, as if by some kind of strange twist of fate.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was kind of moved by it a little bit. Not moved enough to give her some money, but moved enough to record it and then exploit her.
You're saying that with a bit of an irony.
Yeah, I'm saying everything with a bit of an irony.
Yeah, I'm the same. I don't know what I mean anymore.
No.
Everything I say has a trace of irony.
Yeah.
And I've totally lost whether I'm being serious or not. Anyway.
Well, I was going to say, actually, I had a plan that if you asked me about my influences, I was going to say, well, I was listening to one of my old songs the other day and I found it really inspiring, and I guess I'm my biggest influence.
Yeah.
That was going to be my line.
You don't listen to your own songs, do you, on your iPod? Do you ever do that?
Not every day.
Not every day. All right. Let's just talk about iAddict. So that's about technology. I was listening to a bit of that.
Mo hates Facebook and all social networks and all social things. So yeah, he just wrote it about that, basically, his observations on kind of the whole thing of people recording gigs with their mobile phones and stuff and not living in the moment. And Be Honest was another song that was like the sister song to iAddict. It was exactly the same theme. There's something that really bugged him. Because Mo gets really angry and political. I don't really care. I'm kind of, you know, indifferent and apathetic in general, and just seeing the shades of grey and that everybody's wrong or everybody's right. Anyway, but Mo's he's kind of like a not a political activist like yourself. So that's it.
What do you think about say Facebook or something? Because it's a really tricky one, because I definitely have issues with it. But then someone would say to me, "Well, you use it a lot," and it's true, I do, because I try and post interesting stuff, and it's going to reach a lot of people at the click of a button. Whether it does any good, who knows? But
it's almost like a drug, isn't it? I think you know, you can use it or you can abuse it, and I think a lot of people have difficulty with it.
Obviously, you know, we're going to post this onto Facebook, etc. And
I'm looking forward to seeing 4 likes or 4 listeners or whatever.
Yeah, and then getting upset if people don't like it. Like, inverted commas. Yeah. No, because it's, you know, it's great for setting up events, blah blah blah. I think the time when you have to be careful is when it starts infantilizing you and you start getting jealous because people have certain likes.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and I'll be perfectly honest, I get slightly upset when someone just posts some absolute bullshit and it gets a million. It's like on YouTube, you know, the highest ones will always be either a Justin Bieber video or just someone falling over, or, you know, something like that.
Well, you have to just ignore that stuff, don't you? You have to, like, block people or, you know, maybe stop using it.
Yeah, but I think that is the point where you have to take a look at yourself and your relationship and think, hang on a minute, you know, I'm getting upset because I'm not getting lots of likes on this thing, you know. But anyway, what's the other one we were going to talk about? Join Us.
Yeah, Join Us.
You played that at La Palma about maybe a couple of months ago, and I don't know if everyone heard it, and everyone was enjoying the lyrics. So yeah, tell us about that.
Oh right, yeah. Well, yeah. When I played that the other day in Triskel's, I think it was, people in the audience were like, some people clapped during the verse. It reminded me of, you know, there was a Neil Young concert where he played Hey Hey My My. You know, it's better to burn out than fade away, and you know, rock and roll will never die.